Welcome to LifePoint TV. I'm Pastor Dale Phillips, your host here for LifePoint, your path to real life. I want you to join me as we initiate another new study. We're going to the 11th chapter of the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 11, find verse 28. And it reads like this: Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. And I want you to underline this: learn of me. Learn of me. In this study series, I want us to um, take a look at what Jesus has to say in regards to learning about life. Learning about Him is an opportunity for us to learn about life. It says to learn of me. We will dissect that as we go along in this series. Here's the first responsibility. If you want to become a student of life, a student of the giver of life, you are. I want to remind you one of the factors that we have rehearsed over and over and over again here on Life Point. Life comes from God. Jesus, in his earthly ministry, he made his announcement, his proclamation: I am come that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. So we understand that he is the life giver. If we want to understand how life works, we have to come. Here's the first responsibility that you have: come to him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. We cannot learn about life until we first come. That's the first act, the first responsibility that we have to undertake, is to come to him. Now, here's the great benefit. Here's the trade-off. We come to him so that we can rest from our labor. Many of us are caught up in trying to make life work when life is not working out. We take on the burden, the responsibility, that heavy burden of trying to make life work by ourselves, in our own power, in our own strength. Jesus is saying to us, that's not working out too well for you. So why don't you come to me? You're laboring, you're carrying a heavy load that you should not be carrying, and come to me, all ye that labor, I will give you rest. This is a universal call to all mankind, all types of uh, men and women in every condition, every scenario in life. Your invitation from God directly is to come to Him. Now, so that's um, the first act of obedience, if you will, that we must respond to. That's to come to Him. We can make that great exchange of allowing God to take over, to consume the work that we have been trying to exercise and trying to make life work. We can now rest, desist, rest, put an end to that series of responsibilities. Come unto me, all you that labor and are laden, heavy laden, I will give you rest. Then he says, take my yoke upon you. Now it's going to take a little bit for us to dig into the important details in this, in the word that's used here. So I want to just throw in a couple of points, and we'll continue on in our next in our next broadcast. I want you to look at this word yoke. This is an important term that is used here. This is a binding term, so that makes it a legal terminology that's being used here. It's a binding term to establish a coupling of relationships between two entities or two parties. It's a binding term. It's a covenant term that gives us this legal basis, authoritative basis. It is focused on establishing, watch this, establishing a union between two separate parts, oftentimes between two opposing parts, to bring them together. And I want you to look at this from an agricultural point of view. When a man is trying to plow a field, he cannot plow that field as well in his own strength when he has available to him the strength of a greater animal that has the ability to push and to pull that plow. So when we look at that example, it shows us that a greater work can be accomplished when a man is willing to bind himself, yoke himself to something that's greater. So a farmer will yoke himself, creating a contraption that will connect him to a great, stronger beast, an ox, a bull, that can carry weight he cannot carry, push and pull weight that he cannot handle, and allow him to plow a field with greater ability than what he could do in his own strength. Here's what God is saying to us in this message that Jesus establishes. Hey, come to me. You're trying to carry the burden of life on your own. I'm here as the greater one. I am here, watch this, as the greater strength. I want to, I want you to take my yoke on you. I want you to bind yourself to me. And when you do that, you're going to become stronger. You'll be able to do greater. What you cannot accomplish by yourself, you can accomplish through me. Oh, I like this. And so we kind of sneak in the words of Paul right here, where Paul says, I can do all things how? Through Christ who strengthens me. I'm stronger in Christ than I've ever been by myself. Come unto me, Jesus says, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. So you're not carrying the load. Take my yoke, Jesus says. I want to bind myself to you so we can do a greater work. This is Pastor Dale Phillips encouraging you to stay with us during this series as we continue to give you important instruction about how life works. You stay on the path that leads to real life.